All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to my stream. I actually asked a poll on my Instagram page to find out who is. Sorry, I've got to start my Instagram live quickly. I basically started a poll on Instagram just to find out how many people would like to have me have a live done, which is completely different for me because I don't do a live on like discussion topics as much. I do it mainly on either singing or things like that. So I'm doing a live about leadership. So if you're watching via Facebook, via YouTube, or via Instagram, hello, glad you guys could join. It's not going to be a long stream, it's going to be a quick stream. However, if you want to ask questions, you're welcome to ask questions and I will try and answer them as well. Don't feel obligated to ask a question, but if you want to, you can. Just know that the information I'm giving is not, how can I say, textbook driven. There's no perfect solution. There's no perfect way in leadership. There's no perfect set guideline. There are basic principles, yes, that you need to have as a leader. There is basic things that you have to do as a leader, but each person is different. That's one thing you need to understand, that everyone is different and everyone has their own unique ability to be a leader in their own capacity. So I'm going to kick off with a textbook version of the definition of leadership quickly. A leader is basically an action of a leader or leading a group of people or an organization. So that's one of the key things, that you're leading a group of people, you're leading an organization. So a lot of the times when you're leading a group of people or you're leading an organization, you tend to feel overwhelmed because you have so much people that you're responsible for. And sometimes when you look at the bigger picture the whole time as a leader, you would eventually feel like there is so much that you have to give and so much you're responsible for. But if you break it down and you work every single day as it is and as it's at that point in time, you'll see it become easier. It'll become much, much easier to manage. So leadership is also a position that you have. It's a position of authority. A lot of the times we forget that when you move from a person that was submitting to leadership to a person that is now in leadership, you are in a position to start making decisions. And making the right decisions is always a part that will freak you out. It freaks me out all the time as well. So yeah, it's difficult. I'm going to say straight off that it's difficult making decisions because in a capacity of whether it be a non-profit organization, right, and you're a leader in there, how do you as a leader then have to motivate people in a non-profit organization to do the job and get the job done without getting paid? That for me is the hardest, and I have a bit of experience in that, and I'll explain that a bit later on. The other thing that I would also say is that when you in a place of employment and you're actually working for a company, how do you continue motivating people that have not was getting paid a salary to do above and beyond what they're supposed to be doing? And that's obviously the challenge of the leaders, because now you have your tasks to do, but yet you have people that's following you and you need to actually get the job done. There's one basic principle that I can say that works for me. It might not work for you, maybe it will also. But you ever heard of that saying that says, rather don't just give don't give instruction, right? It's a quote that goes along with this lines. I can't say it exactly the way it is, but don't just give instructions, but pull the load with your group, pull the load with your people. And I've learned in these times that, you know what, if I give a task out, I need to know as a leader that I myself can complete that task. If I can't complete a task, if I cannot do a task, how can I expect those that are following me to actually do that task as well? You see, it's weird because you're meant to be a leader that technically should just be leading and should just be giving instruction and just should be delegating. But what about that time when you actually, when you see your staff is not doing what they're supposed to be doing? Do you reprimand? Do you judge? Do you give correction? Do you see? There's so many aspects around that you need to actually start first looking at yourself before you actually can start giving judgment as a leader. So I'm going to quickly go through some 11 leadership qualities that I found to be good, that's worked, that is solid. But I'm not going to go in depth and explain every one of them, because this is not a textbook live. This is not this is a ABC and XYZ. This is me from a personal experience, giving a foundation of, this is what leadership should be like. So I'm going to give you quickly just the 11 qualities of leadership, and then I will dive into more information. Okay. The first one, communication. Communication is on top of everything. Here's the thing. How can you as a leader give an instruction if your communication is not clear? Think about it, right? If I'm looking like this guy, just know it's Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. Cool. So how can you as a leader give an instruction that is not clear? Give an instruction and expect your followers to follow if you haven't given the full breakdown. Now, here's the thing that kind of works on me, because when I was a regular employee, I would call it like that, is that a lot of the times it's communication that displays high level. And by the time it reaches you, you just get, that's what you have to do, that's it. What I've done and what I've started learning in my own capacity is that it is always best to give a summarized background, to say, you know what, here's the problem that we've been facing, here's the solution, and this is the action that we need to carry out. Now, it's simple, straightforward, basic communication skills. But seldom you get that from other, if you're in a leadership position. Sometimes you might think, okay, maybe I haven't given that instruction where I did. Or two, you receive instruction and you're like, but what is the basis of this? And you end up being, how can I say, retaliating against the decision that was made. So communication is key, the reason as to why you are given an answer. The second point is integrity. As a leader, you need to have integrity. You need to know exactly, you know what, I will own up to my mistakes. I will do, how can I say, if I made a mistake, I'll own up to it. That's the thing. How many times have you said, I'm sorry as a leader, to somebody that is either reporting to you or someone on the same level as you? We've all made mistakes, but yet, because we want to have pride and know I'm the best and I can do this at the best of my ability, you end up just, you know what, not owning up to anything. And that's not a good quality as a leader. Accountability. Be accountable for your actions. If you made a decision and the decision did not go down or did not have the outcome you expected, have accountability for it, to not say, you know what, I've given the instruction, people did not follow the request, people did not do what they're supposed to do, and now everything is like not working out. Don't shift blame. As a leader, take full responsibility, take full accountability of what your decision that you've made, and take full accountability of your decision and your outcome of the end result. That's main. I cannot stress that enough. Accountability is key. There are times I make mistakes. There are times when I have to say I'm sorry and I have to own up to it. It doesn't matter what level of authority you are in. You need to be accountable for your action that you've done. Empathy. You cannot have people following you if you don't empathize with them. You can't have people that's reporting to you that will give you the best if you're not empathetic with them. You need to understand their background. You need to know where they're coming from. And I said this to somebody, that so many times we are quick to judge people based on how they react to information. Yet, if you look at that person's background, where they come from, you will understand exactly in that person's culture or in that person's background, they were brought up to respond in a certain way. So when they respond to you, it might come across negative because you might not have been brought up in their background. Yet, if you understand their story and their background, where they're coming from, you'll be able to accept how they're communicating to you much better, and also help them better their own communication. So humility in how people respond to you is key. I mean, have passion for your people that's following you. Don't just give an instruction and say, "Oh well, you can just do it because I say you must, and you get in a paid salary at the end of the month." That's not how it works. Other important point is resilience. Resilience, resilience, resilience. As a leader, you should not quit. If you give up, your team is going to give up. I mean, that explains it for itself. Next person is vision. If you as a leader do not have vision, right, how can you expect people to follow you if you are blind? If you have no direction, if you have no point of where you want to go towards or work towards, how can you expect that from your people to follow you with no vision? I mean, come on. It is simple. If you're working for a corporation or a company, your company has a vision. And as a leader, it is your responsibility to buy into your company's vision, to buy into your company's passion and goal. And if you're not bought into your company's passion and goal, then you need to understand where your placement is then going to be. Influence. Well, I'm not going to explain much on influence. Influence is one of the qualities. As a leader, you must be able to persuade people to do things and have influence on people. Now, I'm not going to go into depth on that. I think I can do a session on each of these points individually. Positivity. Oh my gosh, this part, right? It irks me when I do not see people that is passionate and and is positive in the most negative circumstances. It irks me a lot because, I mean, think about it. As a leader, you're not positive that you're going to get through something at the end of the day. You might come across a challenge like where I'm working right now, that we have challenges, right? But I'm positive that we will get through it because I'm positive. Everybody else is positive. The team feels like we can do it, we can make it. But what if I was negative and I felt like, you know what, as a leader, I will not be able to make the cut, make the grade, get the goal. I mean, if I'm not positive, I cannot expect the people that is following me and is doing the job. I can't expect them to be positive and knowing that they can get the job done. Delegation. I'm going to touch on this a bit later on. But delegation as a leader, you need to understand exactly when to delegate, how to delegate, when is the right time, because timing is key of delegation. You can't just give off and just delegate left, right, and center and make your plate empty because you feel like that you just don't want to do any of the work. There's a very strong point between delegation and laziness. Okay. Last one is confidence. If you're not confident, even if you don't know what to do, if you're not confident and do not show the display of confidence, you can have a level of distrust in you. So just be careful of that. Okay, so the actual discussion or the actual point of the stream is I was someone that was reporting to a leader. I'm now a leader. What now? There's a few things that we need to take into account. And you guys are welcome to ask questions in the chats. I will answer as I go along or at the end when I'm done. So I'll be about another 5 minutes and I'll be finished. So you're welcome to give questions in the chat and then I will have a look at it and then I will be able to respond later on. Okay. So this is something that was tough for me. Firstly, when you're moving from one level to the next level, it's important to note the first thing that's going to change is your circle. Your circle of friends, your circle is going to change of who you always connect with, who you always have chats with. Now, here's the misconception people have. When you move into that role, right, as a leader, you are not deliberately letting go of the old circle. Hear me, you're not deliberately letting go of the old circle. What you're actually doing is you are starting to zone in and move in the level of people that you actually can help you. Because as a leader, this is new territory. You need to grow, you need to move. But now at the end of the day, you actually don't know how to do the job properly. So what you can end up doing is you're going to end up gravitating towards people that are similar on your level or higher than you so you can actually get that experience. And what ends up happening is that your previous circle will feel like, you know what, You think you are high and mighty, which is a misconception that you know it all, and now you think that you are now the duck dung, which is our term that we use a lot. That you are the duck dung, you don't want to be friends with me anymore, you want to just be high and mighty, you don't want to interact with me anymore, you take your breaks on your own, you are doing so much stuff on your own, but meanwhile, you are not, you are just gravitating towards people that can help you in your current role. And a lot of the times, your circle that you've been with before you became a leader will not understand it unless they are given that opportunity, or they're in that space to actually understand, you know what, this person has now moved, this person is now in a new role, this person is now moved to a place where they need to now start growing. And at the end of the day, it doesn't mean that your previous circle needs to stop completely. That connection must still be there, because the next aspect you need to remember is being a mentor. Being a mentor is key. You need to have a mentor as a leader. You need to make sure that you also have a mentor that will be a mentor to other people as well. If you are a leader and you do not have anyone that you're mentoring, ask yourself, if you're not in that role today, can somebody take up your role in confidence, knowing what to do, how to do it, when to do it, and why? As a leader, can you confidently say that you will be missed, not because of what you are doing for the company or what you are doing for your corporation, but instead what you are doing, but for who you are? Are they going to miss you for who you are, not for what you've done? There's so much things that people can do, but can you hand over a baton and say, you know what, I know someone that can take over the role? And if your answer is no, then you need to evaluate, can I get a mentor? Can I get somebody I can mentor? Because you need to be able to position yourself in such a way that you can move to the next level. And this has been said a lot in various leadership books that I've read, that as a leader, you need to pave the way for yourself to move higher. The previous company I worked for, the CEO, he said something that was profound, and actually I love that statement, is that as leaders, we should not be afraid of someone surpassing us. We all run in the same journey, but somebody will surpass us. Something that you're grooming will surpass you. There are always new things coming up, new technologies. People are getting more advanced. People are coming to understand. But as a leader, you need to understand that people's going to surpass you. You need to understand that as a leader, you need to be able to say, you know what, I am setting myself up for growth. Yes, I'm going to train somebody else. I'm setting myself up for growth so I can grow as well. If you have, as a leader, have stopped learning, have stopped growing, have stopped trying to be persistent and having a goal and having a vision, then you need to really reevaluate and say, am I really meant to be a leader? Because that is the thing. There's a difference between a leader and being somebody that's just going to manage. A leader leads by example. And you need to lead by an example leader. Now, as I mentioned, your circle is going to change. Your circles will change when you become a leader, and you need to understand that your influence will be much more greater. So your circle that you've not left behind, but have now has spending less time with, you have the power of influence over them as well. But their mindset needs to change, and you as a leader need to instill that inside of your people, instill that inside of your friends and colleagues that you have been buddy with. Know that you're not spending much time with them. They need to understand that it's a certain level that you need to operate on. You can't do exactly the same. Your workload changes. I mean, if I ask every single leader that has really taken up the mantle of being a leader, how many times you actually take a break in the day, how many times you've actually really taken a rest, it will be seldom, because a leader is always on the go, always on the go, always willing to work. So that's the one thing in transitioning, understanding that your circle is going to change. I've mentioned mentorship, okay, so that's also key. Of making sure you're actually able to grow as well. Now, here's one thing that I want to speak about: delegation. As a leader, it is okay not to delegate in the first month or 2 or 3. It is okay. The reason why I say that is because if you are going to do a task, do it to your best of your ability. Learn how to do it. Learn how to master the task. And the moment you know how to master the task, you start delegating. But don't just delegate. Oh my gosh, I've seen it so many times. People delegate a task to you. You will do it to what you know. So as an employee, you will do the task to what you know. and then you give it back to your leader and you find out, oh shucks, I did this wrong. I need to now redo the task, or your leader must redo the task from over. When you delegate the task, show, learn, check in throughout, and give full support. Also, don't delegate the task to somebody that is not going to manage your task well. For example, if I know you are not good in Excel, but somebody else is good in Excel, I'm not going to delegate to you a task that involves Excel formulas. I'll delegate a task to you if your strength is communication, and I'll rather give you something down that line. I'm not going to be the guy that's going to give you something that you cannot handle. I would rather play to your strength, and I will touch on strengths and opportunities on another stage. That's another discussion for another time, so I'll touch on that again. But in delegating, you need to know when to delegate and how to delegate. Know your team. That comes down to knowing your team, knowing who your people are. You need to make sure that you understand your team's strengths, understand your team's opportunities where they can grow. And when you delegate based on that. You delegate on how you're going to actually have your group perform at its optimal performance. Because you can perform as great as possible, but not achieve the fantastic results that you want. But the moment you understand your team and understand how to delegate and understand how to bring the strengths to work together, when you get that right, your team will perform optimally. You will save on time. You will save on resources. You will have people that will start finding things out that you might not even know on a certain document. Pick up trends, pick up things that will help you actually improve. So delegation at the right time is key. The last point that I want to speak about is how do you motivate somebody that is working in a non-profit organization and someone that is getting salary every single month. There should be one constant in both avenues. And if that constant is not there, then you can motivate your staff till you're blue in your face. You can give them the best presents, whatever you want to give them, incentives you can want to give them. But if they do not have this one key aspect, you literally going nowhere with that person. And that key aspect that I believe, and you can shoot me down for this, there might be books that will give you other key aspects. That's fine. I'm not playing them down. But for me personally, that one key aspect is passion. Passion is the main key. When I used to be a leader at a church in PE, we at one point we had very few people involved in the media team, and what was challenging was that we had to increase our capacity very quickly, very quickly. And what we did was we actually had an open day. We tried to get as many people in, and we had a lot of people. We could say about 40 to 45 roughly people join, and we worked with them and eventually people started falling out one by one. But if I look back, the people that were left behind, the group that was left behind was a team that was full of passion. Didn't get paid, didn't get any recognition. They got an odd thanks here and there, but they did it with passion. They did their best every Sunday when they came in. They did their best. They were there an hour earlier than normal people at church. There were people that stayed even after church. There were people that came in late as well. And as a leader, you need to identify the people that has passion and the people that are there just for the reward. Because if you're there just for the reward, you as a leader is going to have to give a reward constantly to that person to try and get them to work. But if you cannot get that person back to a place of passion, then what is the use of you actually trying to really invest in that person if that person doesn't really want to grow? And that's the key thing here, is that passion is the main key there. And the same in a working environment. If you do not have passion for your work that you're doing, for your business, understanding what you're doing, you can increase a salary 5 times, 10 times, 20 times for that person. They will just do the job for the sake of doing it without passion in it. And it become evident that when there's passion in your work, they begin to care for your clients. So if you're in a corporation, organization where people are passionate for what they do, and you're working with clients, your clients will feel that passion and they'll be proud of the brand that you're working for. And as a leader, you need to distinguish the staff that are passionate and staff that are not passionate. And you need to engage with them. Try and grow them. Try and put them on a course of some sort. But here's the thing, it's never going to work if that one particular person does not want to grow, doesn't want to be challenged. And as a leader, you're going to be faced with that. So wrapping all of this up, transition as a leader is going to be key in terms of how you delegate, when to delegate, knowing your circle has changed, and making sure you have a mentor. Those are the three main things when you become a leader that you need to really, really look at. There are other topics I'll talk about. I will talk about the important leadership qualities. I'll look at them in depth on different days. I will speak about communication, integrity, accountability, empathy, humility, resilience, vision, influence, positivity, delegation, and confidence. I'll look at all of those aspects individually and maybe do a video each week or live each week on each of those aspects at a quick clip. So yeah, I want to thank you guys for watching. If there's no other questions, I see nothing. I just see waves coming through on Instagram. Thanks so much. If there's no other questions, then I'd like to say enjoy your rest of your afternoon. The streaming will be made available. Please like it. Comments are allowed, but please keep the comments clean, guys. I do appreciate clean comments. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the next live. So have a good day further. Keep well. Stay safe. Stay warm. And I'll see you guys on the flip side. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.